So on this little adventure, I was joined by my brothers for a few nights at the Emu Creek four-wheel drive retreat. The venue is located on the edge of the Great Dividing Range, just outside the village of Tabulam in northern New South Wales. The property is over 3,000 acres of bush. It has a couple of creeks running through it, and of course plenty of hilly terrain to entertain anyone keen on some four-wheel drive adventuring. There's a large number of campsites scattered around mostly the eastern side of the facility. Probably the most popular is the Oaks campground. For us though, we were located on a fairly new campsite called the Rivers Bend.
Right, we're at a river camp called, we're at a camp called River Bend here at the Emu Creek 4x4 park. I'm just coming down here to the edge of the creek. It's really nice down here. But I thought I'd give a shout out to my drink of choice on this trip. The Brookvale Union Ginger Beer. The first time I had it, they've got it on tap down at the Raymond Terrace Bowling Club, and I frequent there regularly because I'm a bowling member. They put it on tap there recently, and to be honest, it's the best tap drink I think I've ever had. Absolutely spectacular. So I brought this on the camp, and turns out my brother Justin drinks the stuff too, so we've been ripping into them. They're really, really nice. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the creek area down here. I'll go for a little walk through it and see what I can find. I think in the summertime she'd be pretty special down here. Look at that water, nice and clear. Looks a bit murky, but it is that time of the year. It's coming on to winter. But you can swim in that easy piece. That's probably a good 1.5 meters deep, in at 2 meters in its deepest area there. Nice little hole. So the River Bend campground is a new one they've opened up here at the campground at the 4x4 park. We're one of only a handful of people that have been allowed to come down here and camp, so that's pretty handy. But yeah, nice swimming hole here up the creek, and I'll go over and show you this area they're cleaning up, getting rid of all that nasty lantana and that, in a great little area for kids to come and swim as well. So I'll take you over there and we'll have a squiz, and then we're going to get the fire up and running properly and put on a good feed tonight. And the sun's just coming out, so I'll get the drone up and show you this little campground section. Yeah, so we're talking to the owners this morning, Frank and Ian. They know my brother Chris obviously because he's fallen timber on their lot. But they got the excavator down here to this section here, and they're cleaning out all this part of the River Bend campground, tidying it all up. Just down on the other side over there's the creek. It's got a little swimming hole. It's about 1 meter deep, but it's at its deepest. It's perfect for kids and that. And they're going to clear all this up and sort of level it out a bit with some, just some little gentle slopes down with some flat spots and that, so people can come in and then put some toilets and that in here soon and turn this into a nice little campground. But the Oaks is probably the premier campground, and if I get time tomorrow I'll call in there and get some video footage. But it's a lovely little area. Oh yeah, I might use the... Hey, good little campsite, this one.
Yeah, a bit smelly.
Okay, so whilst this picture's not the clearest, it does give you an overview of the tracks that are available to drive and the various colours that make up the ratings of those tracks. Basically, you've got green is easy, blue is medium, black is hard, and the red colours are your extreme tracks. Some of the orange tracks are two-wheel drive access. So basically, you can see over here in the eastern part of the facility, you can pretty much take a two-wheel drive car all the way down to the Juru campground. The green tracks are pretty easy, so they take you to most of the campsites. And there's also a green track numbered 1 that takes you all the way through to the western side of the property, where there's a few easier tracks over there you can drive. And then you've got a host of blue tracks and some black tracks scattered around, and some of these big old nasty red ones, which have some interesting names like Chernobyl, Koala Pass, Feral Errol. So there's a good mix of track skills for everybody, from your mum and dad four-wheel drivers like myself to your blokes that like to go up the side of cliffs and don't care if they roll back down the other side.
Yeah, you should be right to come up, Scott. Are we on it now? Let's just get a fucking new one to get to. Oh, obviously I can't turn around anyway, can I?
Naturally, she's a lot steeper than what it looks like, and you can tell from all the little rocks she's a little bit slippery. This is the tricky part here, they all come undone here. There we go, I'm up. Okay, we're on track number 1, which is the easiest track at this 4x4 park. Here comes Chris in his cruiser, but none of them have listened to me. They didn't want to put their air down on their tyres. I have, but they didn't want to. They're paying the price, I reckon. But the cruiser's a beast. Any condition, up it goes. Bradley's turn in the nav. Hashtag nav life. No suspension lift, no nothing. Just as stock as a rock nav. Just takes his time up there, he'll make it easy. Give us a wave, BJ. Give us a wave, BJ. It's the ranger's turn. Like everything when you're at these places, you can't show the steepness. Now it's not that steep, but it's steeper than what it will look like in the videos. And all the little rocks and that make it challenging. There she goes, up the climb. Take half the lantana bush with him. Easy. Try and pick that gap there through that rock just like that. Perfect. Up here. Up on this side. Up over that drain that's running down the middle of the road, the washout. Up we go. So out here in the middle of nowhere on top of this hill is this old gold mine shaft. She goes a fair way down there. They've got a nice cut straight down there, haven't they?
7 metres deep.
Yeah, nice cut that one. That was a good cut. What did you say? There's another one over here? Another shaft? Just that.
Sort of chasing the steam.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes down a fair way. Rock, hard rock to have to dig through and chip away.
I don't know how much further we can drive here, not very far.
Giroux Falls is located in the very southwest of the property, and if you're here, it's well worth going to check out.
Shame we can't get down there, but this area here is called Girard Falls. There's a nice little fall down there. I'll put some drone footage up of it. We've got this little creek area that comes down here. There's rocks and it just gently flows and then hits that point there and just goes straight over the edge. Lovely little area. It'd be beautiful here in the summertime. Have a little swim and muck around. Anyway, the brothers have gotten themselves back up to the car, so I better go in before they take off without me. This is the track out of Girard Falls. So because my brother's logging in the area, and look, people have different opinions on logging. I believe that logging is a necessity of life. The things we do in our society, we need wood, and Christopher's organisation does it pretty responsibly as you can. Always upsets the greenies, but what can you do about it? At the end of the day, they build their houses out of wood as well. That wood's got to come from somewhere, so if you don't like it, well, tough titty. But anyway, this is the hill climb out. Of course, he's graded it with his bulldozer to get logs up and down. It's a pretty simple little drive, but I imagine it was pretty hectic until 12 months ago. We are in a working logging area, so you can see bits of heads of trees and that down around the place. That happens when you log an area. You know, in a couple of years' time, that's all died off and worked its way back into the environment. The only sign that there was a logging operation here will be the tree stumps left behind in 20 years' time. his operation up here at the dump site. Brings back the memories when I was a kid, hung out with my grandfather and father out here, but for me, I chose not to get into the logging industry. My brothers all did. Just on top of a hill out in the middle of nowhere, out in the Great Dividing Range, between Tabulam and Drake. The boys sussing out something that's been done to one of the cars. Here comes the cruiser up the hill. The youngest brother, absolute goose. So what have we got here cooking, boys? We got some ribs.
No, we got really done smorgasbord, mate.
We got some ribs in there, and we got some lamb shanks and that in there. We're all going to have a feed. Pugs has been cooking, but he's over there.
Pull it off the fucking fire.
We'll come off the fire in about 2 minutes, Chris. Hold your horses, pal.
Well, I've already lost 8 kilos waiting for it.
Everyone's a fucking critic, seriously. Quick nip round camp. So this is Christopher's cruiser and his little swag. And then you got Brad in his Navara, and that's him and his son's swag. And then there's my swag over there, and Cassie the tuner, and Justin's Ranger, and he's just got his bed up in the back of that. And this is a camp. Like feed time at the zoo.
Yeah, you should put the veggies on first.
What have we got
You're
here?
going to eat 2 of them, Bede?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter if we done.
Oh, you done well, Jugger.
Fucking nice, eh? Good job. Got Justin.